Transformative times require vision and leadership. Today, more than ever, Pittsburgh deserves a mayor who's willing to look to the future and lead through hard work, careful listening, and a willingness to make tough decisions. Confident that I can do that, confident that I can be that type of mayor, I announce today that I'm officially a candidate for the Democratic Party nomination for the office of mayor for the City of Pittsburgh. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Nationally, we are excited by the promise of our new president and the hope that he is inspiring. At the same time, however, we are worried, in fact, deeply troubled about the economic crisis that's around us. Just the other night, I was sitting at a kitchen table. I was talking to a young man who was telling a story that a lot of us have been feeling and experiencing at our own tables about his worries for his job in the future here in the city and other people that he knows as well. This is real. This is very real. And we know that this crisis will transform fundamentally our economy, both locally and nationally. But we're still as yet unclear as to how that change will take place. Vision and leadership can take times of crisis, times of uncertainty, and turn them into opportunity. And so it's for that reason that I say, let's seize this day today. Let's seize this day and elect a mayor who will look to the future with vision and leadership. Thank you. Across this nation as never before, urban centers are experiencing a rebirth. Here in Polish Hill, and we chose Polish Hill for a reason, here in Polish Hill, we see that. We see that folks of all types are moving into this neighborhood. The old and the new, those who have lived here for generations and those who've just moved in, are living together in this neighborhood, and they're thriving. And I want to point to these buildings. Look around you when you're finished here. Look around this neighborhood. Lots and lots of things are happening. There's still much more work to be done, but you can begin to see the seeds of growth and development for this neighborhood and for our city and for urban centers in general. A century ago, thousands of people moved to neighborhoods like Polish Hill. They staked their claim and they contributed to the vitality of their community, and a symbol of that would be this church or our city itself, all of the production that was taking place in this city a century ago. People came here because they saw opportunity. They came here because they saw opportunity. And there are opportunities in Pittsburgh today. It's the role of the city government, however, to make sure that we are further constructing, coordinating, and promoting those opportunities. And if city government doesn't engage that project, then those opportunities and our population will continue to shrink and decline. I therefore pledge that as mayor of the City of Pittsburgh, I will work every single day to reverse population decline in the City of Pittsburgh. I won't leave that office one night without being able to answer the question, what did we, not just me, but what did we do to reverse population decline and to grow the city? I pledge to increase the number of businesses and companies that start up here and that operate here. Generations ago, the creativity and hard work of the people of Polish Hill and of Pittsburgh built the great businesses and industries that were of the 20th century. Today, there are men and women working in this city who are just as creative and hardworking, trying to start small businesses and launch entrepreneurial projects. Despite their hard work, despite their creativity, this region has one of the lowest, very lowest rates of startup creation. We must reverse that trend. City government, in order to reverse that trend, must be an active and engaged partner. City government must make sure that its tax rates do not adversely affect small businesses and startup companies. City government must actively and strategically recruit clusters of industry to our city to both attract and hold population. We need new and innovative businesses alongside of those that have been here for centuries, so that we don't have to watch your children and my children move away as they get older. For Pittsburgh to thrive as a city, We need a city government that's going to encourage people to migrate to Pittsburgh and to invest in our community. We need a city government that will actively recruit people, and I pledge to be a tireless advocate for this city and this region, luring individuals and companies from Latin America, from Asia, from Canada, from Europe. Every other thriving metropolis in this country has a growing population of immigrants who are staffing, who are starting innovative and creative companies that are creating good-paying jobs. And it's about time that Pittsburgh joined that trend. No one will locate here if taxes are too burdensome or unpredictable. And I pledge to put Pittsburgh's financial house in order. Just a small project, right? Just a small project. But really, that's an important part of this. People are not going to move to this city if they're not clear about what's going to happen to the finances of the city, because that burden could come upon them in the future. So I pledge to get Pittsburgh's financial house in order. The first thing that we have to do is get a clear and honest picture of the revenues and expenditures associated with operating the city government. The next thing that we'll have to do is align those things with the future vision for the city of Pittsburgh. And that will obviously require difficult choices. And I certainly have a record of doing that and being a part of those types of projects. Now, some will argue that we can't create financial stability in this city without help from Harrisburg or without taxing nonprofits. And as I've said for years, we need first in the city government to show that we can begin to solve our problems before we turn to the help of others. Pittsburgh must also become a safer city, both in reality and in perception. And I pledge that as mayor, I will get tough on crime, and we'll talk about that. And I will dedicate myself to every day to driving the rates for both murder and violent crimes towards zero. And again, some will argue, the pessimists particularly, will argue that this is not possible without help from the state. And again, I say that city government must show that it can responsibly help itself before it turns to higher authorities. We must also carefully plan for the future in this city. Over the last few years, this administration has systematically undermined the function and the importance of the Department of City Planning. The end result of that undermining has led to the decentralization of planning and less of a focus on the public good. If we are to grow small businesses, jobs, and population, we must actively plan for the future. We must start to look and think about utilizing further and in much better ways the existing and already available space, filling businesses and people to create that density that we need to have a vibrant and vital community. We have to stop using public dollars to support development projects that benefit only the developers. Finally, we need to guarantee that our rivers are the envy of the world, both aesthetically and functionally. Throughout history, Pittsburgh's reputation has been built upon its rivers, and the same must be true for this generation and future generations.